Hello there, people of the internet, of things and stuff that I don't know about. The internet is actually a host of a lot of things. I digress. So, what I want to talk about is Advanced Warfare, my opinions on it. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. A lot of people have been uploading gameplay recently. The trailers came out, and yes, I'm not at Gamescom. No, I haven't played the game, but I do have opinions on the game. And I'm not a pro Call of Duty player. I really am just a casual. I just play once in a while. Sometimes I do well, sometimes not so well. And I think that's how most people play Call of Duty. I know the whole esports community is growing, but there's still a lot of people playing Call of Duty just for fun. I mean, that's really why you should play any game. And I just play Call of Duty for mindless entertainment. Yeah, it's not the best game, and I admit that, but it's fun. I can have fun playing it, and I think that really is what a game should do. It should allow you to have fun whilst you're playing. So, anyway, my opinions on Call of Duty Advanced Warfare are mixed. I really am torn between liking and disliking this game. There are a lot of things I like, but there are too many things I dislike. So I like the fact that they've gone for that whole medals idea, like that, similar to in Black Ops 2, where you got medals that showed up on the screen. It just was a nice UI element. It looked quite nice, and they didn't have that in Call of Duty Ghosts, and Ghosts, well, that looked quite bland. So I like that it's brought back the medals, and it kind of brings back more challenge to the game. And you're not just playing for kills, you're playing to get achievements. Well, not achievements, but the medals. And yeah, that might sound a bit superficial, but I think that having those medals, it was just a good thing. I liked it in Black Ops 2, and I'm happy it's coming back. I also like that it's fast paced. Call of Duty Ghosts is really a slow paced game. Now, that was simply because they tried to make the maps too big, and the play count isn't high enough really. And I think Infinity Ward, and I hate to say this, but I just don't think that they're very good at map design. None of the maps in Call of Duty Ghosts really impressed me. There were a few that were okay, but there were far too many maps I didn't like. I don't even have to list them, but I'll just give you an example. Stonehaven, what else? I can't even remember the map names. They're quite forgettable maps, and the only ones you remember are the ones you hate. So that's something you don't want in the game. I know Stormfront was good, but still, the game is too slow paced. Map design wasn't very good. Advanced Warfare, much faster paced, very quick. There's a lot of action going on the map. There is really quite a lot, and I like that. I also like the new mechanics. Now, this is actually one of my dislikes as well, but what I like about the mechanics is they're new. They're adding something new to Call of Duty. And yes, they say this every year, but I think this Call of Duty, they've actually added enough to warrant it being, a new Call of Duty. And there's a lot of new mechanics in there, jumping around, flying around. But what they've managed to do is keep all the guns relevant. So I was watching Ali A. You probably know him if you're interested in Call of Duty. His sniper gameplay, and he's pretty good at sniping. I'd say not the best, but he's alright. And when people were jumping around, you'd expect it to be really hard to shoot, but it's just about technique, and there's quite a good balance with mechanics. They're not too overpowered, and they're really easy to get the grasp of, similar to Titanfall, and that's where my negatives come in. I'm not a huge fan that it looks really very similar to Titanfall, and I'm not hating on it. I'm not saying, oh, they copied Titanfall. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it looks too much like Titanfall. It doesn't matter who did it first. That's not the point. The point I'm trying to make is that it just looked a lot like Titanfall from the gameplay, and I didn't like Titanfall, and I don't want another Titanfall. And so there's a chance that it could fall into the realm of Titanfall. And it looked very... I mean, it didn't look that polished sometimes. The running around, jumping around, it didn't look that smooth, and I think in Titanfall it worked alright. It was a bit bad sometimes, but they've really got to get those mechanics right. So I'm really just skeptical. I'm not hating on it. That's just an area I'm skeptical. It looks a lot like Titanfall, and I don't want it to be another Titanfall. I'm also just not a huge fan of a lot of the abilities. For example, the cloaking and that grenade that shows people in the room. I have a feeling they could be very overpowered. Now again, haven't played the game, so I don't know, but the cloaking ability needs to be done really well. It needs to be really balanced. I think this game needs to be really balanced, just like Black Ops 2 was, because yes, it arguably is less fun, but when you don't have balance, there's always the question of, is it really fair, la la la. And I think that the cloaking ability and the grenade just don't look very balanced because they look a bit overpowered. And yes, they're not perfect, there are drawbacks of using them, but if in the wrong hands, I think they could be used very aggressively and in a trolly way, similar to tac inserts and target finder in Black Ops 2. And there's actually one more thing I liked about Advanced Warfare, which was the idea that it's more about skill. Now, Call of Duty Ghosts, it was you died so fast, most of the gunfights were just based on luck. And even if you were a really good player, you would die quite a lot because it was a lot. The game was based on luck. Now, that had its merits. It was more different. It wasn't just, oh, you're better player, you're always going to win gunfights. But it was just really not fair. Why should someone who's just lucky, who just, oh, he shot a second, or not a second, I mean, you die in a second in Call of Duty Ghosts, but like a fraction of a second, they just shot, or something ridiculous. The game wasn't really based on skill. Advanced Warfare, they're honing it back to the idea of Call of Duty. Most of the time, the more skilled player will win out on gunfights. Now, for me, that's not necessarily a good thing because I'm not a very skilled player, but I think it's fairer that way, and I'm quite happy for that. So that's my opinions on Advanced Warfare, good and bad. We'll just have to see. Will I be getting it? Currently, no, I'm not. Currently, I'm not interested in it. I just think it's too much jumping around, and I actually like the idea of Call of Duty being more casual, and you don't have to put too much thought into it, and you're playing. But if there's people jumping around, it's getting crazy, and it's a bit like Titanfall, then currently I'm not gonna buy it. If reviews are overwhelming, if I for some reason change my mind, I might buy it. Currently, my money is not going towards that game. Thank you for watching. This is just a talk kind of commentary. I might do this more often. I haven't really uploaded on this channel in quite a while, but if you do enjoy this stuff, please tell me down below or leave a like, and yeah, subscribe as well. You can dislike if you didn't like it, and I hope to see you again soon, kind of. I do have another channel which is more related to tech, but I do some like personal stuff there, so if you're interested in more of my content, you can check that out. That's in the description. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon, I hope.